Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to go over and take a look at the top 5 NFL defenses for 2014. Will Seattle be able to hold on to that title this coming season? Let's start looking at them right now. How could it be anyone else after the utter domination of Peyton Manning's Broncos in the Super Bowl? It's rare you see Manning that flustered, but with the waves and waves of pressure, the Seahawks were in his head quickly. Does Seattle have the best pure talent in their starting 11 on defense in the NFL? Actually not. What they do have is the league's best and biggest secondary and several good players that they can rotate up front. That keeps everyone fresh. The team was wise to re-sign Michael Bennett, but a Super Bowl winning defense is always going to be vultured by other teams. Seattle lost 2 guys up front in Red Bryant and Chris Clemens, and 2 guys in the secondary in Brandon Browner and Walter Thurmond. But as long as Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas remain in the defensive backfield, Seattle will be fine there. The other team we're going to look at is the Carolina Panthers, and the Panthers were number 2 to Seattle in total defense and scoring. They were second behind Arizona in rushing defense. An argument can be made that Carolina has the best front 4 in the NFL, led by ends Charles Johnson and Greg Hardy. The latter was kept out of free agency as they slapped the franchise tag on him. The 2013 NFL Defensive Player of the Year is a Panther, a tackling machine also known as linebacker Luke Kuechly. If there's one worry here, it's that safety Mike Mitchell and cornerback Captain Munnerlyn left in free agency. The number 3 team on our list is the San Francisco 49ers, and if you're looking for the best linebacker corps in the NFL, it's the San Francisco 49ers with Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis, Aldon Smith, and Ahmad Brooks. If you saw that NFC Championship game, Bowman was literally everywhere against Seattle with 14 tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble. Unfortunately, he also blew out his knee and has had a long road back following surgery. He's hoping to be ready for week 1, but the PUP list is possible. And then there's Smith, who had several off-field incidents and is undoubtedly facing a suspension. The addition of safety Antoine Bethea should make up the loss of Dante Whitner. The number 4 team on our list are the Cincinnati Bengals. The biggest loss for Cincinnati defense was longtime coordinator Mike Zimmer, who finally got a job as a head coach. The Bengals finished 3rd in total defense and 5th in scoring despite some key injuries on that side of the ball, like Pro Bowl tackle Geno Atkins. In addition, top cornerback Leon Hall was lost for the year after 6 games. The Bengals will miss defensive end Michael Johnson, who signed with Tampa Bay. Cincinnati got tremendous value in the draft with Michigan State cornerback Darqueze Dennard slipping in number 24th overall. And last on our list are the Houston Texans, and Houston ranks 7th in total yards but tied for 24th in points last year. The former number was more indicative of how good the unit was at times. Houston has perhaps the most disruptive player in the NFL in defensive end J.J. Watt. And now add to that the number 1 overall pick in Jadeveon Clowney. Need I say more? Houston also added a potential solid run stopper in Kansas City's Darrell Poe. Notre Dame defensive tackle Louis Nix III was a first-round talent and thus a steal in the 3rd round of the draft. Houston might miss former coordinator Wade Phillips, but Romeo Crennel has been pretty good in his own right as a coordinator, just not as a head coach. And one last reason to like Houston's defense in 2014. The Texans don't really face any high-powered offenses other than the Eagles and maybe the Redskins. 4 games against the Jaguars and Titans plus facing the AFC North is a huge plus for the defense. For Sportsbook Reviews, The Vig, this is Dax Floyd.